Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're doing something a little different on here. Usually you see me sit here and talk about the latest Mopar news and stuff like that. However, today we got a really cool video, and I think you guys will really like it. So, over the last few years, I've become pretty good friends with Frank Rhodes Jr., who's the great-grandson of Walter P. Chrysler. And Frank collects a lot of cool stuff. He has tons of memorabilia, he's got a really cool vehicle collection, and he just has an amazing connection to the brand, not just because of his great-grandfather, but because he's one of those people who's kind of a historian who likes to preserve the history of the Chrysler Corporation. And I figured, I wanted Frank to actually kind of create a YouTube channel because of all the stuff that he has and to kind of document it. But in recent weeks, he actually did a video for me, and it is a really cool video. So him and his buddy Brinkley basically shot one of the vehicles that he recently just got done. So Frank will tell you the story about the vehicle, but it has to do with a very important piece of Chrysler engineering. So if you're familiar with what a 1952 Chrysler Air Raid Siren is, you'll probably know that this thing is a very important piece of Chrysler history. Not only that did Frank, basically obtain one, he restored it from the help of Tom Parker from Parker Welding and Fabrication in Maryland, but they also mounted it to a very awesome 1940 Dodge cab-over truck. So Frank and Brinkley did this really cool 12-minute video, and I hope you guys like it. If you do, make sure to leave comments below, because again, I'm trying to push Frank into maybe doing a YouTube channel. I think he's got so much cool stuff. I think it would be really cool for him to kind of come on here and document things. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoy, and make sure to hit like, subscribe, and share it. I think this is a good piece of Chrysler engineering history that needs to be shared with the world. So I will see you guys later. Enjoy.
I'm Frank Rhodes, and I'm here today to discuss a little bit of Chrysler history. Some items that I don't know if a lot of people know about. One, I have a 1940 Dodge cab over here, and it originally was a coal truck, but I ended up putting a Chrysler Siren on the back. We're going to discuss that later. But right now, this truck is equipped with a 217 cubic inch flathead 6, producing 82 horsepower. It's got a five forward speeds, 1 reverse, and it's pretty powerful, and it's powerful enough to carry the Siren, so we're going to discuss that. Now I want to go into this logo here. Chrysler came out with this, it says horsepower with a pedigree. Very interesting because it's a Chrysler original, and I have an ad here from 1946, just after the war, and I'm going to read this to you. Back in 1924, Chrysler introduced new conception of the internal combustion engine. Compact, high compression, flexible horsepower, 10 million Chrysler-built engines prove the value of this conception. So I think that's a good start, and they have on here, on all their ads, they put horsepower with a pedigree. So I have another catalog here. This has all the applications that their engines they have. They had them in street cleaners, they had them in forklifts, they had Chrysler engines in cement mixers, they had them on street paving machines, they had them on cranes and combines, and on the back there's all kinds of other equipment. Chrysler industrial engines were one of the largest group at that time. They powered just about everything that used an engine during that period. So they had different catalogs, they had 8-cylinder engines, they had 6-cylinder models, and here's a list of all their engines. These are all original ads that I've collected over the years. So I think that horsepower with a pedigree is wonderful. Maybe they'll bring it back someday, but for right now, it has a lot of value. Not too fast. Okay, so I came up with this idea. I bought this truck about 25 years ago. Took the coal body off, didn't know what I was going to do with it. And then I found this Siren. About 25 miles from here, is across the border into Delaware, and it was sitting in a field, not in a field, it was sitting in a forest. Someone told me about it, we went over and picked it up, and attached are a few pictures. And we have done a lot of work. We brought this beautiful Chrysler machine back to life. So in here, this is our specialty made toolbox. I have headphone protection. I carry a lot of earplugs for folks. I got a full set of tools, emergency equipment, and everything we need to operate this vehicle when it's not around. So what I'm gonna do now is take these chocks here, there's 4 of them. We have them set up here so when the truck's moving, it doesn't, the whole Siren has to be stable. We don't want it to fall off its original turntable. Okay, she's free. We're gonna fire this machine up right now, and we're gonna see what a Chrysler engineered product sounds like. But I got a few things to do before we set the Siren off, so here we go. Now, on the other side, I have a safety switch built into this, which is right here. Nothing can run when this is not on. And now it starts moving. It takes about 3 minutes to make maybe a little longer than that, to make a complete circle. When this was sitting on the top of emergency buildings, it would slowly rotate and the siren would sound around the whole town, around the whole vicinity where it was from. But I've got to let this run around, and I'm going to do a little description of the engine. Let's go to the other side. This is the original brochure for this machine. I think it was made around 1952. Now, the original Hemi from Chrysler came out in 1951. Now, here we have an ad from Chrysler Corporation when the Hemi came out. This was 1954. And it shows the little spherical part of the Hemi motor. And I'm going to read this. When Chrysler Corporation put this dome-shaped hat on the combustion chambers of its new V8 engine, it brought to America the first major engine advance in 25 years. Chrysler had been building engines since 1925 or 24, and this was the first V8, and it's extremely powerful. And it wasn't called the Hemi when it first came out, but now everyone knows what it is. The Hemi is a hemispherical combustion chamber, most commonly known as a Hemi, is a cylinder head design where the combustion chamber resembles the top section of a sphere, or like what Chrysler called it, a hat. This geometry allows the intake and exhaust valves to be set opposite each other at an angle, creating a more direct airflow path and allowing for slightly larger valves. Okay, here's a special feature of this machine. It has fluid drive, but it's a special gyro fluid drive. And this unit right here is right there on the transmission. And when I set this thing off, I'll be pulling that lever and it'll flow really nicely. The next thing, the Hemi engine itself, it's equipped with waterproof ignition. Now, the engine jackets and the carburetor all have a section in them where you can run warm water through it and keeps it out the engine. The reason they did that, if it's in a cold temperature somewhere, you want this thing to fire up instantaneously if there's an air raid or there's a tornado or whatever you need it for. So the water goes through those jackets, and there's a special unit on there that keeps it warm. And that's what's a great engineering feature of this Chrysler product. Here's another thing. We were able to locate original manifolds from this area. They're very, very hard to find. And a really cool Chrysler engineering feature is the bolts go into the head and they come out on the inside very slightly. So if they ever break off, you can back them out. I think these are the little engineering facets that Chrysler Corporation put together that not everyone did at that time. And it's the ease, the maintenance, the engineering that made this such a quality product. American made. This whole product is American made. And it's very important because we need to bring our products back here, made in America. This is a quality machine. Right now, I'm going to stop it where it's exactly in line. Perfect. Okay, so right now we have two temperature gauges. One for the block on the other side and one for the block on this side. And as I said before, the engine, the cavity of the engine, or the water jacket, there's water pumping around in that at all times. Up here, the carburetor has warm water going through it. And as I said, if there's an air raid or a tornado and this thing has to fire up real fast, that warm water will keep the engine ready to go at a second's time. So we have the RPMs, we have the oil pressure, and these are the two water gauges, and they generally will catch up to each other. One is on the other side, it takes a little more time. So up here, we put this metal mesh in here so you can look into the motor instead of having it all blocked off. I think it gives a lot of character, and you can see the quality of Chrysler engineering during this time frame. 1952, pretty cool. So this thing can go up, I think it's 138 decibels, if I'm not mistaken, which is so loud you can't even stand near it. Now we're about to fire this up, so we've got to put our headphones on for air protection. You've got to have ear protection. This thing is loud, very loud. I'm only going to probably put it up to 2,500 RPMs. Anything more than that, it'll just be so loud. And this machine, when new, cost about $5,500. I found out that today, if you were to order the same one today, it'd be about $6,500. It has about a 25-mile range, and it's very powerful. So let's go. This Chrysler Hemi motor has 331 cubic inches, putting out approximately 180 brake horsepower. Now we seem to feel with the carburation that it has, it's over 200 horsepower. And I know that when the 1955 300 came out, that had 300 horsepower. This engine is amazing. It could do so many things. I just want to add a little side note. In 1954, Dodge came out with a designation job rated because their trucks were very strong, very powerful, and they could handle any job out there. This truck is proof of that in 1940. So maybe Dodge will bring that designation back. It was called job rated, very important, and Dodge trucks deserve something, a strong name like that.